Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Angela Brennan and today I'm going to show you the 3 submissions that I submitted for the Kendra's Card Challenge number 6. It's a quarterly challenge. Then this challenge was from the 1st of April to 30th of June, where Kendra provides you with the cutting guides. So you choose 6 patterned papers and these are the cutting guides, and there's a scissor point that shows where you start cutting the paper, and you cut each of them and there's marks to show which sketch it's for, and you can put it into pouches, into plastic pouches. If you look at my previous videos on the process of doing it, you will see how I did that all, and the links to my 3 videos for my 3 submissions is in this description below. So she's got a cutting guide for each of the 6 papers. This is A, B, C, D, E, and F. So there are 6 pattern papers and it's all color coded. And then here you have the card sketches. These card sketches show you the colors, show you this is paper A, this is paper B, and all the dimensions and where you put the embellishments. Everything is out shown there for you, and even shows you the direction that you lay the papers in. So for this one, for example, all of these directions are shown on the cutting guide, and you need to ensure that your pattern paper is non-directional. I think only for C it's got to be directional. The rest of it can be non-directional. So if you're using a directional paper, directional and non-directional means if your paper needs to show to be placed in a certain orientation, whether upwards, based on the motifs on your patterned paper. So these are the sketches 1 to 6, 7 to 12, and then here's 13 to 15, all clearly shown, all the dimensions for each of the cards that you need to use, the colored cardstock, everything is there. There's a process in doing this, and I have lined it up quite clearly in my videos and also in my blog. All the information and links are in the description below. Now let me show you the 3 sets of cards that I prepared for this challenge. These are the 15 cards that I prepared for the first month, which is April, and this is the one I prepared for the second month, which is May. And this one finally is the one I just posted the video yesterday, which is for June. So let's look at the cards, like all the cards by the sketches. Let's look at card sketch 1 first. These are the 3 cards that I made for the first sketch. This card, I decided to use it on a side folding landscape card. And this one, I really like the colors of this because I used a lot of pinks here, the rose colored pink, which I like. And this one is both of this in portrait. Again, for the second sketch, I made a couple of portraits and one in landscape. Now I've got a lot of faith-based sentiments for my first one that I did in April, which that's all the details on my blog. I'll put it in the description below as well. So a lot of that is from stems that I really haven't used in a long time, but I'm glad to have put it to good use. And you will see in the cards that I followed the sketches that I use a lot of flowers. Now that's because I have a lot of Altenew products. And because I'm a guest designer in Altenew, and I'm also doing their AECP program, which is the Altenew Education Certification Program, I have a lot of their stamps and I love using them. In the third sketch, I used this space, this rectangle space, to put all the sentiments. Some of the sentiments are longer than others, but I used that space to put sentiments. And for the 3 pearls, the 3 dots on the sketch, I used different things. Here I used hearts from an Altenew stamp, and here I used a die cut from a Spellbinder die cut. So, and here's just black pearls. And here for the first one, I put the sentiment on the circle, and the second 2 submissions, I put the sentiments. I use flowers. This is a layering stamp and die cut from Altenew, and this is just a layering die cut from Altenew. And I put the sentiments at the bottom. Here I'm not sure if the sentiment stands up enough, though I embossed it. So that's why I decided to put a bigger embossing here. But here I put not only an embossed strip, but also a die cut, just to make the sentiment pop. In this sketch, it allowed you to do a striped background. Here I used the Altenew window slats embossing folder. Quite easy to get a nice, beautiful background. So I did that for these 2. For this one, I used the Beach Stripes towel stencil from Altenew. Put some Distress Oxide ink. I think it was picked raspberry, and then used some clay embossing powder to give it that shine. I love having that shine in the background. And I did the same thing here. I put Peacock Feathers Distress Oxide ink, and I put lots of clay embossing powder to get that shine as well. I like shine, as you can see, with my gems and my embossing. This is Card Sketch 7. Again, flowers from old to new. And here I put my sentiment here. Where I didn't put my sentiment on the circle, I put it at the strip here. This is supposed to be a striped card. Now you could either score it, but I decided to put a very subtle stamp. I think it was a watermark striped stamp. And this is from a Simon Says stamp. Simon Says stamp. Yeah, and this is a Auto New, one of their sentiment strip stamps. And again, this is the fate based stamp. I love how these cards turned out. They look really pretty. I love the premise of this sketch where you use strips of your pattern paper and strips of plain colored paper. Now, if you can see, I used the rectangle to do all the sentiments, and I really like this Magic Messages. It comes in the Magic Messages stamp from Lawn Fawn. These little embellishments here, I put it in a couple of the cards because it's nice to just be a filler, a bit of a filler. Even though it's the same color, it kind of just gives it that nice filler embellishment. And I like the subtle colors here. So here, just to keep, because the sentiment was not big enough, I just put a strip of color here to make up that space. So yeah, I do like how these sentiments, big sentiments, came out, and the colorful striped background. I think it looks really pretty. With this Card Sketch 9, weirdly enough, though I did this in different months, I used the same Rose Flurries 3D embellishment from Auto New for their embellishment in this particular sketch. And I used the strips to put the sentiment. Pretty straightforward, but I popped the little rose on some foam squares further to give it a little bit of a pop. I love the way these little roses look. Here, a couple of them I used sentiments as the circular embellishment, and here I used an Auto New flower. Not sure what it is, but the details are in the blog as well in the description below. So do head over to my blog where you can see the products that I use against each of the cards. And I've got 3 different blog posts for each of the months that I've done these cards. All the links in the description below. Now this is Card Sketch 11, where it says the background can either be specialty paper or embossed stencils, etc. For the first one, I used the Auto New embossing folder. Details, I can't remember what it's called, but the details are in the description below or in my blog, where I just popped up one element of it and gave it a little bit of ink blending. I like the simplicity of that. And these two, the specialty paper for these two, these are really, really old stuff. And this is what I like of this challenge. You can use stuff in your stash that you've not thought about, and it gives you a chance to use them. And these sentiments are from Auto New. Not sure where this one is from, but I'll put it in the description below. This is Card Sketch 12. Here I put the embellishment just below here, and the balance of the embossed strip from the Card Sketch 11, I just stuck it here because I thought the colors matched, and it also had a bit of a decorative strip. Now this one here, I may have gone overboard with my gems. It's just that the polka dot strip pattern paper just lent itself to putting all the various gems. And then I also put gems here to make it a bit of a decorative strip. And these are the tiny birthday stamps from sentiments from Simon Says stamp. And I used that here as well. This is Card Sketch 13. Here I decided to add some further embossing, and I put some Ranger's glossy X in it to just fill up the space. It's all from the same stamp. That is this fate stamp of sentiments. And I put that there. Here I put 3 pearls here, but here instead of putting the pearls, I just used little hearts, the colors that match the pattern paper, and put the sentiment here. I didn't put much stamping here because this is actually quite distressed paper from the same basic gray stamp pad that I got the pattern paper, so the colors match beautifully. And here I didn't put the 3 dots as per the card sketch, but instead I put a whole load of different gems scattered across the card. Here I put the circular embellishment. I put 3 different for each of the cards. Here I put the sentiment on it. And again, this is from the Magic Messages. I like adding this everywhere, as you've probably noticed. And I absolutely love this Antique Rose die set from Auto. I think I'll try and use it as much as I can in most of my cards that I need to do for this challenges. And then this is from the beautiful quote stamp from Auto. And this is the circular stamps. Now it's a rather new stamp from Auto. It's called Friends and Sentiment Stamp Set. And this leaf is from the Rose Flurry set that I think I used in a previous card sketch. But I do like circular sentiments, and I like adding lots of embossing powder to give it that shine. See, I like how these cards turned out as well. And this is the final sketch 15. For this sketch, a couple of cards I did in a horizontal landscape way, and this one I did it in a portrait manner. Again, all coordinating colors, but this one I kind of, if you look at the video, I put their background a bit together. These are actually strips of grey card. They're not a panel. They all measure exactly per the card sketch, but I didn't have enough of this particular grey, so I had only strips and I just added that in. You will see I have put my mats in quite innovative way across all of my 3 submissions, so do check out the videos, the link in the description below, to see how I compiled all of this. Now hang on, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with all these cards I've created. I'm going to give these cards, each of these sets, because they're kind of themed. The first one, for example, they're all faith-based sentiments. Before I put it into these plastic boxes for the gifts, I'm going to stamp a little my website and my little hashtag there. And I'm also going to add an envelope, an A2 envelope to go in. So that looks really nice if you have got the envelope with it, and then you put it into this. So the card is ready to be given to someone special. I could only fit 10 cards into the plastic box. I keep another 5 cards for myself, or I usually share my cards with family and friends. Got a bigger box, you can put all 15 cards. I just need to tie a ribbon, a bow, and that makes a perfect gift. And this is what I'm going to do with all the cards I make in these challenges, because I've got so many cards, topped up with all the additional cards I make as an Auto guest designer. I enjoy making all these cards and I do share them around. I hope you found this video useful. I've got so much more information in my blog, and the link to my blog is in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And when you do subscribe, remember to press the notification bell so you're alerted for future videos are uploaded. I'll have more videos on the Kendra Card Challenge for the next quarter. Kendra Card Challenge number 7 starts on the 1st of July, so look out for her video and the video up for each card sketch on the 2nd of July. Thank you so much for stopping by. Happy crafting and do take care.